everybody, this is Shawn Powell. This is going to be for Exitus Elite, and anybody who's in Exitus Elite or been thinking about Exitus Elite or whatever, I thought I'd actually do a video for Paul Stevenson, the owner himself. I haven't seen anybody actually dedicate one to this, and to be honest, y'all, it's kind of ironic because when I got into Exitus Elite right from the very beginning, y'all, I was all about, like anybody else would be, I was really excited about the business itself, getting paid 100% commissions each and every time, plus a pass-up system, plus overrides with, the G100, 250, 500, everything that's in there. And if it sounds like what I'm talking about is Greek to you, then go down below and just check everything out. I explain everything, and you get a chance to go through and see, the pages we got from Exitus Elite as well. So just to let you know, I probably won't be talking a lot about that as a given at the moment. I'm going to try to stay focused towards Paul Stevenson. But when I first got in, I was really excited about how we got paid. We get to pick how we get paid as far as that goes. I had never made money so quickly and so easily as I did in Exitus Elite. So it's really easy for people to say that the reason they got into business is probably because of the layout itself of these one-up systems. It's absolutely incredible, right? But the longer I was in, even in the first month, I saw so many characteristics from Paul Stevenson. It just wasn't normal compared to other businesses, and I've seen some really good owners. There's a guy named Neil Geis from Power Lead Systems, and I've seen the guy, even when something goes wrong, he will say, "Hey, we got a problem, y'all. I messed up. Whatever. I'm gonna go get it straightened out as fast as we can." And the reason I remember, I only had one issue ever, y'all, and for whatever reason, the server for the computer was hours away. And they couldn't get anybody there to restart the computer or whatever had to happen. It was an odd thing, But Neil Geis took it on his own to actually drive there, and he's letting us know what was taking place and everything. I mean, he easily could have made up any kind of excuses or whatever. I just, I really felt like that was a little unusual. And then when in Power Lead Systems, both Priceless Possibilities, Mike Price, very religious guy. Very straightforward, and I see a lot of that with probably Neil Geis as well. And, it's just when you got a business that's managed correctly, it helps everything, And so I had that viewpoint from him. I'd seen other owners make stupid decisions, kill the business, or pride be an issue. And when they made decisions to change something, they wouldn't be man enough to put it back on track. So literally killing the business out of a pride issue. Stupid mess like that, y'all, to be perfect. I've seen some crazy stuff. And so when I got here to Exitus Elite and the ball started rolling, and I didn't really still have a chance right from day one like most people. You wouldn't get a chance to talk to the owner. But I did go anytime I'm doing homework on the business, I'll go back and I'll look at the last hangout or call or whatever you want to call them, where it had posted them on YouTube and this and that, And I thought the guy had a lot of character, joking and cutting up stuff. Like he had some of the biggest leaders at the moment, was probably at that time that was actually running the video, and they were just asking him questions and stuff like that, So I learned a little bit about the guy from that. But shortly after, just by me getting in the Facebook groups and me connecting on the calls that we're having and stuff of that nature, I really started to learn how much of a one-on-one that you could get with Paul Stevenson, and what really made it stand out to me with the business. And what I learned almost from day one, y'all, is I remember hearing him say, the business will never be worse than it is today. And what he's saying is, I'm going to tell you, there has never been a time where I wasn't proud of Exitus Elite with the default pages and be able to run with that, knowing good and well that what we've got here can make this sell right by itself. If somebody is really just looking, I always tell people you want to make sure they connect with you. Believe me, they got to connect with that person. I want them to for sure, but at the same time, you want to have the content that's going to hold its own ground as well. You see what I'm saying? So for Paul Stevenson, I've never seen an issue where I thought any of the pages looked anything less than professional. So he's always pushing to make it better and better and better. And every year, he likes to go ahead and put out a new I would say a new version of Exitus Elite, but an updated, where maybe the pages have been changed, or this and that, or whatever. And he spends money, and this is not something that's just thrown together. You can tell that the interactive, the pages and just everything, and maybe changing the content here, adding new ways of getting paid, and stuff of that nature. So I was always impressed with that. And I will tell you something, man, that probably one of the reasons, if not one of the major reasons, that in the last part of 2018, November, December, when I decided I wanted to focus at Exitus Elite again, because I came in at 2016, and I really wanted to put more emphasis on it, was the fact that at the latter part of August of 2016, I had been in the business for less than a month. I had made incredible income. I made over like $31,000 in the first 13 days, less than 2 weeks, y'all. That's life-changing income right by itself, right? But shortly after, y'all, right in the latter part of August of 2016, Paul Stevenson, even though he makes the $299, that does not change. It's what the G1000 was set for. So the yearly membership fee, which is what covers all the landing page sales pages, follow-up emails, anything and everything, the support from the Facebook group and all the things that go with it, right? It's still very fair for what we get and how everything works. All the emails, everything works. So he decided that instead of us making a $1,000 commission, that he would up it $300. So we'd make a clean $1,300 out of every commission instead of that $1,000, right? And I'm the type of person, if a person is managing, the owner is managing the business, if I like something, if I don't like it, I'm going to give it a chance. And I believe that, just like I said, trying to make it better, that's where getting better comes from. You learn by throwing things out there and see what happens. To me, that's what I do personally when I'm trying to learn how to do something on Facebook or whatever I'm doing. I throw it out there, see what happens. Good or bad, I learn from it, and I keep going. Well, what we learned was in that short period of time, for about 2 or 3 weeks, that we had changed the price to $1,300. Now we're talking about not just throwing a price tag up here. We're talking about redoing the pages, getting everything, all the videos to match the $1,300 price tag. Everything else. A lot of work and effort went in this. Paul Stevenson had realized that the people joining was a huge drop off after that. Because a lot of people really, to be honest, even though they loved it and they loved the idea of these $1,300 commissions, we were actually shooting ourselves in the foot because the value was a little bit out of reach, that $300 in comparison compared to that $1,000. So what we learned was the $1,000 was a sweet spot. $1,000 wasn't so expensive that people couldn't come in it, but at the same time, every time you get an email saying you made $1,000, it is life-changing income. So it became a really sweet spot right here in the middle. I had one lady one time called me crying because the price had gone up to $1,300 and she couldn't afford to get in it. And she was upset and crying. So I told Paul Stevenson that, and there was a couple of people that said, our drop-off has really been pretty high. People, they used to be able to get it within the first month or having to wait a second month to get the money to do it. And they were really kind of shooting ourselves in the foot by doing this in the process. Because Paul Stevenson was not going to make any more money, he was just trying to make us more money, the members more money. Nothing else is involved in this except that, right? So after about 2 or 3 weeks, he's like, you know what? I'm listening, y'all. I hear what you say. I'm going to change everything. I'm going to go back to the $1,000. And you know what, man? I think I got more respect for him for doing that. Not only for trying to make something better for all of us and trying and see what happened, but really for being man enough that if it didn't work, to put everything back where it should be, to put it back on track so it can keep going. And y'all, the day we went back to $1,000, I made $7,000 because of people who had been wanting to get in and couldn't afford it. That's what we learned. You see what I'm saying? So in my opinion, that said a lot about Paul Stevenson right by itself. Now, in 2016 and now in 2018, or it's 2019 now, but 2018 when I came back, I wanted to join, I went and paid my membership fee at the G1000, and I sent him an email, and I told him that I was looking forward to it, and he had a lot to do with that, right? Even in the latter part when I came back, y'all, on the calls we were having, he was asking questions. He would tell us some ideas he's got, instead of instead of the G100 through the G1000, and that's going to be the business. He wanted to add some more sections to it. So this is just one section. Now, if you wanted to run with that, that was great. But he wanted to make other ways for us to get paid. $1,000 here possibly, or $1,000 here. And he wanted to give people options. Doesn't mean they got to do either one of them or any, whichever one he wanted. Maybe they didn't want to do the G100 to the G1000. Maybe they want to do this new thing. So he always asks, what do we think? What do we think? What do you suggest? If I try this, and it doesn't mean that, he could be the man and say, okay, y'all, I'm going to try this, blah, blah, and that's it, and shut the doors. But he don't. He'll get leaders and people and listen to the feedback to see what they like. Now, with all this being said, y'all, I want to show you something. Yesterday we got an email. This is March the 12th. Today is actually the 13th for me right here, right? So this is March the 12th. I'm going to show you what this. Hi, Shawn. This is the first email we are sending from our new platform. A new notification that has been added to your Exitus Elite back office. Please log in and read the notification as soon as possible. It's all about how you can help shape the future of Exitus Elite and therefore design your own perfect opportunity. Please log in to your Exitus Elite back office here, Paul Stevenson, and everyone at Exitus Elite. Now, Facebook's acting funny, y'all. I'm going to tell you. I don't know why it is, but it is. Let me show you. Exitus Affiliates is the name of our Facebook group. If this loads up really slow, y'all, I don't know what to tell you. It's not my internet. Facebook is just acting a little screwy. But I wanted to show, if it'll let me, I wanted to show where where Paul Stevenson was interacting inside the Facebook group itself. I don't think it's going to work, y'all. I'm going to tell you. It has nothing to do with Exitus Elite or anything. It's just, or my internet, just Facebook's being crazy today. I tried to send something on my own timeline earlier, this picture right here, and it took me like 5 tries. It just is not connecting. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just log into the dashboard and I'll show you what we're talking about here. So here's a new update here. March updates. What does the future hold? The very first thing he did inside the Facebook group yesterday was he went through and he looked at some of the most common or the newest people that's coming through asking questions, and he started commenting on it, giving people some answers or telling them, hey, you need to contact support, trying to give them little things like that. And he also apologized because there's been sickness inside of his family, and I knew about this last time we talked. He's actually called me once or twice on the phone. We've talked for a little while, and I knew there was a little bit of sickness, and they hadn't been up here like he'd been wanting to. Some of the changes that we were going to do, he's kind of hoping it would get done last month, to be honest. But again, that's fine. He's back now, and he's getting ready to, to get everything in on track. He told me this yesterday. Okay, now watch now. What does the future hold? Hi, Shawn. First, I would like to apologize for the lack of communication from me over the past few months. I won't go into any details, but I have had health issues within my family that requires me to take some time away from Exitus Elite. Now, the man's been doing online business for 20 years. I'm sorry, business, not only online business, but actually storefront businesses as well. So the man knows what he's doing. And, anytime I've seen him come into a call or anything, he's very laid back. I always feel like he's kind of the guy in charge. He just has that feel about him. And he does a good job managing whatever we're talking about and uses common sense. The number one thing I got from Paul Stevenson when I ever heard him call or in a call or talking is his people skills are real good. And he knows that the way people connect with you is the answer of whether or not they're going to join you. So, opening up, getting seen, getting heard, but letting people connect with you has everything to do with it. And he totally believes, just like me, that all you really got to do, y'all, is if you got a phone or now Facebook, he's old school, to be perfectly honest, y'all. I could tell that. I think that if he had to run the business and all he had was his phone, he'd pick the phone up and call people. And he knows that that's how you connect with people. And when he's talking and teaching, he's a lot like I am, because I've applied so much action now that when I go to do a normal video, it takes me a little while because I've got so many things I've learned. And sometimes when I get sidetracked, you probably need to hear what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? And I don't see that with other owners. I don't, and with me personally, I picked that up with Paul Stevenson really quick. That you could throw anything at this guy here and he'd tell you, the why or, the answers. He's just constantly giving you the answers and stuff like that. Okay, let's see here. The good news is that I am now back and I am even more excited about what we'll be doing in the future. Every year, just like I said, every year we look at updating the Exitus Elite business as many ways as possible. We already have a good idea of what we intend to do, but there's a big old, but right here. This year we want your input. Now, I've been seeing this for years, okay? So now instead of us just being the people on the call, we're going to do something a little different now. This is what he's doing. We want you, the Exitus members, to have a say in the direction of the business. What would you like to see improved? What products would you like to see added? What training do you feel you need? Do you have a great idea that could enhance the You First compensation plan? These are just some of the questions I came up with. I am sure you could have you have your own. So you now have the opportunity to help us help you. To take part in the survey, simply text wish list 1. Here's a number right here. All of us at Exitus look forward to hearing from you. Warm regards, Paul Stevenson, everyone at Exitus Elite. Okay, recently I had a gentleman that came into my business and he got a little mixed up, a little confused. And a lot of times we have seniors and stuff like that, or people are just green to online business. And not only could I reach out to Paul Stevenson, Jacob Stevenson, which is his son, contacted me and asked me, "Hey, Shawn, do you know what's going on with this?" Went through a lot of, went back and forth quite a bit, making sure we got all the, everything we needed to figure out what this gentleman wanted to do. He'd accidentally done a couple of accounts, one for a smaller, for the G100, and he wanted to go with the G1000, and he was starting a new account. He didn't realize that you could just upgrade to that. So again, y'all, I'm looking at so many things that has just been, it's really nice. Even when I upgraded to, when I came back and redone my leadership, my membership, for Exitus Elite, I got an email from one of the people that worked there just telling me he was glad to see me back, and that Paul Stevenson told him to tell me he said hello. Little things like that, and it was not some company printed thing. It was a legit, sincere email. That's all it said. Exitus Elite has more heart than anything else that I've seen in businesses. And, and we're talking about a business that's been around for 5 years, and you're still having the owner ask you, what do you think you should do? What would make it better? What would you suggest? Okay. I was probably the very first person that did this right here, where I called into that number and or I texted into that number and I told them what I'd like to see. And I want you to hear what my idea was as well. In 2016, when I first came into Exitus Elite, the sales funnel itself might have been about a year old. I'm not for sure. The sales pages and things of that nature. But on the page itself, there was a section to where Paul Stevenson was standing there and he was just talking about the business. It gave you someone to connect with, someone to connect to, a person that is a very intelligent person that knows how to market it, and you can tell it in this video just by talking, And it really, to me, it added a lot of weight, and I don't know, it made the business feel more solid with that video there. Now, right beside the video was a phone number right here. So let's say, this was a number right here, and the video was put about right here. And in that video, he points at the number. He says, "Y'all, I'm going to tell you something. This number right here is not support. It's not a support number. We've got another means for you to go through support. We've got an awesome support, man. I'm going to tell you that. But I've never seen it take more than a day. And I'm talking, I've made well over $50,000 in Exitus Elite by individual people, and some people making stupid decisions or messing up and this and that, and support be on it like that. And I'm going to tell you that I'm very, very proud of Exitus Elite for everything, right? But he says this number here is something different, y'all. This is for all your leads. All of your leads. This number goes directly to this company here. Majority of the time, he's the one that answers it. Most of the time, y'all, probably 80% of the time, he's the one answering the phone. So they get to talk directly to Paul Stevenson, the guy that they're sitting here watching this video with. Paul's very first question is going to be, hey, buddy, you got me right here on the phone? Who sent you here? And you probably tell him to look at the top of the page or whatever, because the guy might not, or a girl might not know exactly who it is. And he's going to look him up on the computer and then leave the computer screen open. And then he's going to talk directly to this person, 20 years of experience in business, sounding just like me, if not even better. You know what I'm saying? And then if the sale takes place, without you even knowing it, he's going to put them in your business for you. And that's what that video is talking about. And y'all, he's done this several times. Now, listen, the only money that they make in Exitus Elite, we make more than them. You understand that, right? It don't matter what level you come in. If I'm at the G1000, I make $1,000, and the membership fee is $299. I made $6,000 last month. I think that's pretty fair for that $299 for that one time once a year, right? But I'm not normal. I'm not going to sit around and beat around the bush. I'm going to get out to people. I'm going to make the business work, kind of thing. That's just me. If I'm going to do a business, I'm going to do a business. But you got to realize, we make a lot more money than them. Paul Stevenson, to be perfectly honest, he'd probably take that $1,000 and put it in his pocket, have this new person in, and bam, he's good to go. He don't. He wants this person to be connected to someone that's going to help them out. To be perfectly honest, this is what Paul Stevenson does. So he'll contact someone and then put them underneath you, and all he's still making is the $299 from the membership fee. This is putting the people first at so many degrees. So many degrees. Now I'm going to tell you something else too about Paul Stevenson. A lot of y'all don't know this. You know that there are other one-up systems. I'm not going to say any names, but there's a couple of them. A lot of y'all don't realize that Paul Stevenson had people that were copying the entire web page, word for word, the exact same words, y'all, not even changing the words, and then would get out and build their own system. And the whole point was they saw the success and all the good that Exitus Elite had, that they were duplicating it, and doing these things. So a lot of y'all don't realize that, Paul Stevenson was one of the first ones to do one of these systems. And the competition that we have was copying what we were doing. And some of these content, y'all, I looked at another business in November before I came here because I wanted to see maybe there's another one-up system I'd be interested in, out of curiosity, right? So I looked up someone else. And I talked to a leader who was in both businesses. He was in Exitus Elite and he was in this other business. And I asked him, I said, buddy, to be honest, you're probably perfect. What would you suggest I do? I said, I've already come from 2016. I know about Exitus Elite. I know how to market it, basically. Go see what new changes take place, and I can be up and going in no time. I said, but I wanted to know what you thought. This is his word for word, y'all. The other business had been duplicated, basically, to match Exitus Elite. The content that they had for the trading itself was not as good. He says this was very basic stuff. He said majority of the stuff. He says, now there are some benefits to the business itself. He said, but for the most part, it was a little closer to a money game, is what he actually said, a money game compared to Exitus Elite. I said, well, what do you think about Exitus Elite? He's like, the products are better. He said, Paul Stevenson, and he's just like me. He believed that the man had more heart for this company than most owners did. Even though some owners, you better get in touch with them, it's just not the same. And, I was already done, man. In my mind, I was like, you know what? I've got a guy right here. I don't need to find out anything else about this business. I've got a guy who's unbiased, sitting right here that's in both of them, made money in both of them, and he's personally telling me that Exitus Elite is where it's got more future, that the fact that the products are better, that he puts the members first, which I already knew that, y'all. So when I got into this, there we go. The first week I was in here, Paul Stevenson asked me to reach out to him. He called me once or twice on the phone. I was on a couple of hangouts and stuff, and I was listening to this man just like always saying, okay, y'all, we're moving forward. What do we need to do? What's going to make this better? And again, that's why I'm here. That's the honest truth, y'all. I could make money with other one-up systems or whatever. There's no doubt in my mind. I know I can. And I can even probably find some beneficial reasons why I should do this or this one or whatever, y'all. But when it's all said and done, you're talking about a business that's been around for 5 years. You're talking about a business that I've made a lot of money with, personally have made a lot of money. I had downline, y'all, who had never made a dollar in online business make $3,000 in the first 30 days in this business. I've got a guy recently that came in, and the 24 hours later, he already made back $1,000. This business has got everything that you need, and Paul Stevenson is the kind of owner that it manages it correctly. And that is the reason that I'm here, to be honest, more than anything else. Because I've had businesses that were awesome that the owners made those stupid decisions like I was talking about earlier. And now they're gone. The businesses are gone. And I trust and I believe that Paul Stevenson's, watching the things I've personally seen, it's just he's got the people in mind and he knows what he's doing. It's just that simple. All right, y'all. I know that I might not ever have another Paul Stevenson video up here, or anything like that. I know I've mentioned him before in a couple of videos, and I've always put a good light on him. But I just wanted to show, after seeing this yesterday, and it just gives you an example of exactly what I keep saying in other videos. And I wanted y'all to see it. I wish we could get on Facebook because I'd actually show you some of the posts, where he's commenting and stuff like that. He's accessible. And even he's the first one to say, the last couple of weeks he really hadn't been, where he wanted to be at or could because of illness. And I knew that. I already basically knew that myself. I didn't go around telling people that. But I was glad to see him pop back up. And I'm really looking forward to the changes for Exitus Elite. If you want to see what I'm using, y'all, I'm just going to go ahead and show you right here. This is my own sales funnel that I created. I explained the business, in my own words. But even this right here, I like to give people someone to connect with. So if you come through here and you wanted me to do that for you, you could use my landing pages. Absolutely. Goes right here. I don't ever tell them what the business is. I tell them what the business has done for me, what it's meant to me and my little boy, being able to pay my house off in the first 30 days to a business. It sounds almost freaking, incredible, if something like that, but it's the truth. And I tell them the most money ever made in a day, a week, or a month, or came from this business, and that's got a lot to do with it. Plus the owner. They go through there. The very first page you're going to go to, y'all, is going to be my Exitus Elite video page right here. Let me update it here. Let you see what the page looks like. There we go. So this is the first page for Exitus Elite. It's a really good, thorough video about it. Got a little graphical stuff in there. I want to try to impress some people, for them coming through. It's a good page right here. Exitus Elite Power Lead Systems and a place to get your traffic source. All three of these businesses are absolutely incredible. This one I break down to G100, 250 to 500, 1000 in a very unlocked open review showing you what they get in every one of those. Give us a place so they can connect with us. And it says me here making 40,000 the first 30 days. A little bit of my testimonial right here with the businesses itself. Second page right here is going to be for Power Lead Systems. This, y'all, had everything to do with how I got free from a job in 2015. I'm going to point blank tell you that. And Neil Geist, the owner I was telling you about earlier, and Michael Price, all three of these gentlemen together, I'd be smiling from ear to ear. If I didn't ever have to do another business and just focused at these, I'd be a happy camper, to be honest. But I'm actually in Master Traffic Institute, MTI right here, is one of the upgraded, positions inside here. I'm actually one of the trainers that did some of the training, leaders that did some of the training in this video. And I talk about branding, YouTube, and Facebook, and those are what I mainly do. Maybe, I think maybe follow-up emails. There's some stuff in there either way. If you wanted to see what Power Lead Systems is all about, this video right here, halfway down the page, I explain it as well in my own words. This one is for setting up your sales funnel so that I show you how to get everything up and going. And we got a share code, y'all. This is a share code that anybody in your team and you or anybody can use and get 20 of the landing pages that I created. And I have no problem with you taking and putting you in the videos, whatever, manipulate things. If it works for you, I'm smiling from ear to ear. That's really what it's all about right here to me, if it's making you succeed, branding you. Okay, third page is going to be Udemy, y'all. Udemy is free to sign up to. It's given the answers to people who wants to do paid advertising, which is a good deal of the people. and you get a 15% commissions for life for anybody who signs up. So even if you come through here and you signed up at Udemy and did nothing else, let me show you the income that I've made off of Udemy, y'all. This is March the 13th. This is March 12th right here. I got paid $19. March the 11th, the day before, $60. The 8th, $63. The 7th, $63. The 6th, $11. $14, $10. I mean, it all adds up. $28 right here, $25. When it's all said and done, I made $351 in the past, what, last 21 days? 24 days. Past 24 days, I made $351 for a business that I signed up free with over 3 years ago. So Udemy is a really good, it's a really good platform. All three businesses have been around for longer than 4 years. I've been with Power Elite Systems for 4 years. As of February 2019, make my 4th year I've been with them. Udemy, I've been with for over 3 years. I'm still using PayPal. Let me show you this, y'all. This is in like 11 months or 10 months time. How many times I've sent this to my paid outs just for those that look like this. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, in December of 2017, all my little boy's Christmas, all of it was paid for with Udemy. So it's an absolutely incredible way, and it's got an eBay format. So it's like your buyers and sellers are all managed over with with Udemy, kind of like eBay would. And we have the same structure where all the sellers there, we get to rate them and put comments, and there's nothing they can do. So they want to do, you got to be a good seller or you're not going to make it there. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of has that. So y'all, if you need Exitus Elite and you are ready to come in this thing, G100, for $140, make unlimited $100 plus the pass-up systems. It's absolutely incredible. The 250 gives you the 100 already comes with it. The 500 gives you 250 plus the 100, and then the G1000 gives you everything. And all the overrides plus the pass-ups itself, y'all, it just becomes to a point, it just makes sense. I had Robert the other day. Let me show you this real quick. Robert decided to upgrade. And let's see right here. This is where I made $900, y'all. Because he had came in at the, there it goes. It was just transferred $900. He came in at the G100, and he really, after watching a couple more of my videos, understood how important and what all comes with the G1000. So he studied a little bit more and decided to pay the difference. And all you got to do is pay the difference, y'all. So here I'm making a $900, $900 day. It's a $960 day because you add the other 60s from right here. That's what I'm saying, y'all. It's what I've got works. It really does. So if you're an Exitus Elite already, and you wanted to just use my sales funnel as well, that by all means, y'all, you can have at it. Be tickled to death for you to be part of our team. I treat you just like you're my own. Come through here and set up everything, put everything in on page 2. Power Elite Systems is going to explain everything, how to get it going for you. If you are in Exitus Elite, Power Elite Systems, you need to be in Udemy or any combination of 3, just let me know, y'all. Go through there, get everything you need. If you wanted to know more information about Exitus Elite, give me a call, y'all. I'm here every day. This is what I do for a living. You will not bother me. And make a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel, y'all. And if you need anything, let me know. I look forward to seeing you in the Facebook group. Okay? Appreciate it.